Good morning, guys. This morning, my video is going to be about, are you in a relationship with a narcissist? I know you guys can't see me right now, and I apologize for that. However, I'm doing some ripping and running, some moving around. You guys may hear some bumbling in the background. So I just needed to get this video out to you guys very quickly before I go to work this morning. So here it goes. Are you in a relationship with a narcissist? A narcissist is a person who has an inflated sense of themselves. This is not your average person who's highly confident or even your run-of-the-mill asshole conceited male or your stuck-up conceited female. This is someone who lacks empathy. They're completely selfish. They have a sense of entitlement. They have a need for admiration. So they need other people to validate them constantly. They seek validation in any form, whether it's from social media, posting pictures and getting several likes, whether it's in their relationships, family, friendships, even at work. These are people who love people to love them, even if they're a low downgrade version of a person, of themselves. Even if they're a person that lies, cheats, steals, commits all kind of crimes, is somebody who's very distrusting. That person who comes around you and your skin crawls and your spirit just utterly gets infected, that's a narcissist. They're a person who has no care or any kind of remorse for anything that they do in life towards another person that they know is of ill intent or of negative consequence. These are people that when you're in a relationship with them, they're going to cheat, they're going to lie. A narcissist's whole objective to life is to feed off other people's energy for their own sick supply. They need other people. They need us. Those of you who are good-hearted, those of you who are my fellow empaths, those of you who are rescuers, you like to give to other people, you like to help people in need, you're a target for a narcissist. Excuse me. They're out here preying. They're looking for people to prey on. They're looking for people to suck up your energy. They're looking for people to diminish you in every way possible. So some things to look at to know if maybe you're in a relationship with a narcissist. If you've been in a relationship with a narcissist, maybe you're not all the way in that relationship as far as dating, like with titles, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, wife, husband. Maybe it's just sexual. Even that, guys, it's dangerous in itself. So I just want to give you guys a few things to look at to know if you've been in a relationship or if you're in a relationship or any way involved in any kind of dynamic with a narcissist. So if you're involved with a narcissist in a relationship, you'll tend to feel very drained of your energy. But not at first. When you first meet a narcissist, they'll make you feel like you're on top of the world. They'll shower you with love. If they're a person of a certain status quo and they have a certain amount of money, they'll shower you with gifts. I mean, the I love you text messages are never endless. They have constant attention for you all the time, constant gratification, constant just letting you know that you're the one for them. I've never met anybody like you. You hear things typical like you're my soulmate. I've never felt this way before. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And all of these things will happen when you meet a narcissist very quickly upon you meeting them. So typically with a narcissist, they'll go straight from the 1 or 2, 3 dating stage to now they're ready all the way for the full-fledged relationship. They're ready to all the way move in with you. These are people who would lack impulse. Remember that. They have no impulse control. So they do everything quick and based on feeling. So they're going to love bomb you. They're going to shower you with love. These are people that are highly sexual. So if you're highly sexual, and a lot of us are, because let's be honest, who is out here really waiting for marriage in 2020 to have sex? So with that being said, they're going to shower you with sex, and the sex is going to be constant and continuous, and it's going to be in forms that you've never had it before. They're going to lower down your boundaries and your standards when it comes to sex, when it comes to a lot of things, but especially when it comes to sex. They're going to want you to try new things. And the sex is a way to pull you in, to keep you stuck, to keep your mind flooded and clouded so you can't think and focus and really pay attention to those red flags that are going to arise throughout your relationship with this narcissist to make you think, maybe I shouldn't deal with this person, or something really wrong is wrong with this person. When they did this, that didn't particularly seem normal. When they did this, it made me feel a certain way. Maybe even just to pay attention to how your spirit feels when you're really around them. Because we all know, even when you're not in a relationship with a narcissist, when you're in the beginning of a relationship stage at all, that's the honeymoon stage. And feelings tend to get misconstrued. You tend to be caught up in those feelings of lust, and your emotions are overflowing. So we tend not to find ourselves paying attention to those red flags, acknowledging those things that came up, that arose in those early stages that were meant to precaution you on how to continue on your relationship with this person. But we all fall victim. So if when you're listening to this, you resonate with anything that I'm saying, and you're like, oh my God, I was with the narcissist, or I have been with the one, or I'm with one now, please don't beat yourself up. Listen to everything that I'm saying, take it in, and find the tools to equip yourself with how to be as safe as possible if you're going to stay in this relationship, or how to heal if you've already gotten out of the relationship with the narcissist. Excuse me, to continue. So they're going to love bomb you. So after the love bombing stage, you're on this high horse. You're on the highest peak of the highest mountaintop that ever existed. You're feeling wonderful. They're giving you all this love, and thus in return, what are you giving them back? Because most healthy, whole people, especially empaths, we're reciprocal. We reciprocate anything that's giving unto us. We send that same energy back out to other people and back into the universe. So naturally, you're getting all this love. You're receiving all this love. It feels good. It feels right. So you're going to give that same love back, which is exactly what the narcissist wants. They want you to tell them how much you love them, how great they are, how great what they're doing for you makes them feel, how significant they are in your life, how much you need them, how much you want them, how they're your soulmate, how you want to marry them, how you can't see yourself without them. They feed off of that. That's what they need, because even though these are your selfish, your people who only see themselves, who think that they're everything in this world, and if they're God's gift to woman, if it's a man, or I'm just all of that if it's a woman, even though it appears that they think that, they really have a low sense of self. These are people who really are insecure. These are people who really are cowards deep down inside. These are people who lack a sense of themselves, who can't hold on to themselves, who lack the ability to control themselves. They have no impulse control. They have no emotional control. They have low emotional vibrations. They can't meet with you on an emotional level because they lack the sense of being able to feel their own emotions. They don't know how to sit in a space and analyze themselves. They hate to be held accountable. These are grown children, entitled people. They're entitled to everything. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist and they're cheating on you, they're entitled to that. They're never going to change. My women who are in a relationship with a man, and think about how long you've been with this man, how long you've been married to this man, and how many times he's committed those sinful acts of infidelity. And how many times you have forgave him because of the words in that Bible that say, through better or worse, through sickness and health, through richer for poor, till death do us part. So you stay because you have finances, you have children, you have love, you have vows that you have taken under God, and you stand on that. Just think about those times. Resonate with that. Think about My man, if it's your wife and she's cheated, because women are narcissists as well, and you've forgiven and you've forgiven, and it's a repetitive cycle. Now, think of a whole healthy person that really loves you and loves themselves and considers your feelings because they consider their own feelings, and they know how to feel emotions, and they know how to think healthy. They would see your hurt. They would see your pain. They would see what them being unfaithful to you and committing these sinful acts is doing to your marriage, to your relationship, to the foundation of your home, of your household and your family. And they would stop these actions. They would do whatever it took to stabilize the foundation amongst your family, to stabilize the trust amongst the two of you. But if this is a person who over the years you've been married to them, they're a repetitive cheater, they might be a narcissist, because a narcissist is entitled to that. They're entitled to have you, and you still need to worship them. You still need to give them love. You still need to help them with their problems, listen to them, understand them. Paint this picture as if your life with them is just wonderful. They're entitled to all of those things from you, but yet they're still entitled to receive those things from someone else, because remember, there's never enough supply for a narcissist. A person who gets their gratification and their love and their self-atonement from another person, it's never enough. When your gratification of self comes from other people, it's never enough. You will constantly look to absorb gratification, admiration, love, and anything from another human being that's breathing, because you cannot give it unto yourself. And once that person stops giving it to you, or they're not giving it to you in the form that you wanted, you're going to seek it from someone else. Then you're going to seek it from someone else and someone else. These are narcissists. These are people who are seeking never-ending supply from people, a sense of themselves, a sense of gratitude, a sense of admiration from other people, and they seek it daily. So after the love bombing stage, after you are both feeling on this high, they're going to devalue you. Yep, they're going to tell you down. They're going to devalue you. They're going to degrade you. They're going to devalue you. They're going to degrade you in the forms of cheating, lying, stealing. Some of it's physical abuse. They're going to smear campaign you. They're going to spread lies about you to your friends, your family, their friends, their family, your coworkers. If you're on a job, this is that boss that's demanding, that's controlling, overbearing. This is that boss that micromanages to the extreme. This is that boss who yells. This is that boss who slanders out racial slurs, curses at their employees, fires people on in. This is that boss. If you're in a family, this is that mother, that father who never saw you, who never told you they loved you, who never hugged you, who was promiscuous with men or women, who was an alcoholic, who abused drugs, who beat you, who neglected you and your siblings, who put themselves before they put their children. That's those are parents. If this is a friendship, this is that friend who is all about themselves, who only calls you when they need something, who only calls you when they want to talk about their problems in their life and what they're going through, but who never listens to you or never has the time to listen to you, who never can sit in a space for you and really understand and feel what you're going through. This is that friend who you give, but they're never giving back, so it's not reciprocal. This is that friend who, when y'all are out, it's all about them, all eyes on them. They have to be seen. I just wanted to go over those few categories in which they could play in your life, because even though I'm speaking on the narcissist, across the board, their traits and characteristics are the same, but the position in which they play in your life can be different. So I just wanted to touch on those very briefly, because I'm speaking as if I'm talking about a relationship, because that's where I resonate. This is from my own personal experience. So I'm speaking on the terms of a relationship to get the message out clear to you. But know that a narcissist can live and breathe in your life in any aspect. So continued on. The degrade, the devalue stage, the basically tearing you down, the making you feel minuscule, less than yourself, making you question yourself and your own reality and thoughts that are conspiring about you every day. This is that person who you'll have a conversation with them and they'll tell you one thing and then you'll reflect the conversation and come back and say, remember when you told me this? And they'll completely deny that they ever said that. And thus in turn having you questioning your reality, that conversation, them, and what really went on. This is that person who will cheat endlessly and they'll apologize. They'll even throw on the tears and the antics if you try to leave them. They'll cry and say how much they need you. They love you. They'll kill themselves if you leave them. They need you. They need you. This is that person. This is that person who lies without a conscience, who lies about things that they don't have to lie about, who lies about things you don't even ask them. They just make up lies because they lack a sense of self. So remember, they have a low sense of their self. So they're insecure. So an insecure person naturally is reserved, right? They naturally don't speak a lot. They don't have a lot to talk about because they're afraid of being judged. They're afraid of being ridiculed. They're afraid of being shamed. So this is your natural person that holds to themselves and they make up lies about themselves to fabricate themselves onto other people to be accepted. They want you to accept them. So they create this facade of themselves and their life and the things that they do, their family, even the things they went through in their childhood. Experiences that they've had before you in other relationships, with jobs. They lie about all of these things to fabricate an image that they know that you will want. How do they know that you will want this image of them? Because they've studied you. And that love bombing stage I previously spoke about, not also were they pouring so much love into you, but they also were taking that time to break down your walls, to break down your boundaries. So you will open up to them and pour out your stuff into them. This is that time where they tell you, well, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your childhood. Tell me about your likes, your dislikes, your wants, your desires. What are your standards and qualifications for relationships? What do you want in a husband? What do you want in a wife? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Oh, yes, they're smart, very witty, intuitive people. They can run the conversation. They can run the game with the best of them. So in that time that they were pivotal, searching you and understanding you and studying you like your experiment, because get to know a whole healthy person does study you as well. They do. In a relationship, everybody studies everybody. But a whole healthy person studies you with the intent to get to know you, to get to know your likes, your dislikes, your wants, your desires, your triggers. Because we've all been through something and we all have triggers. They want to get to know you, to know what they can pour into you, to make you a better, whole, healthy person, to make the relationship long lasting and fulfilling. They want to get to know you, to know what they need to do not to hurt you, not to trigger you in any kind of way, not to afflict you negatively. But a narcissistic person wants to get to know you, to know how they can tap down your boundaries, get you to break down all your walls against them or anybody else, so they can prey upon you, so they can create an image of themselves that you will accept, so they can suck up all your positive energy and all your love and all your admiration for their own sick supply. So when they devalue you with their lies, they're cheating, their physical abuse, their emotional abuse, their mental abuse. When they break you down, they tear you down, and they know that they've got you right where they want you on this spinning roller coaster of love, devalue, discard, love, devalue, discard, and you can't get out because you're stuck in a trauma bond. You're stuck in that soul tie from that love bombing and the constant sex and admiration. Then you're stuck in a trauma bond from the constant love and devalue, because ultimately most of us are of a forgiving people. So even though they've broken you, even though they've torn you down, they devalue you, you still want to think that, oh, maybe something is just wrong with them. Maybe they're just stressed. We'll make excuses for these people. They're just going through this. Their mother was like that. Their father was like this. Their childhood was like this. And you'll stay in that situation searching for that person that you once initially met, that person that loved you, that person that admired you, that person that told you you were this and you were that to them. You'll search and search and search for that person, looking for something that you'll never find again, because that never was them. It was the facade they created to get to you. Remember that. So now you're stuck in this trauma bond. You're stuck in this soul tie, and they're devaluing you. Now they're going to discard you. Those of you who've been ghosted, which I'll have to talk about that in another video because time on YouTube is limited and I don't want to be long. I've already been almost 20 minutes. Those of you who've been ghosted, consider yourself lucky you've been blessed, because that's the narcissist that comes into your life for a short, brief amount of time, and then they just disappear without a trace, without a sight, without a phone call, without an explanation. And you may or may not never hear from them again. Consider yourself lucky, my love. But for those of you who've been love bombed, devalued, now discarded, which means they've thrown you away. Maybe they've found an excuse They don't want to be with you anymore, this or this, or you're doing this. Maybe you start to find them out and peel off their mask. Maybe you try to hold them accountable for their actions. Maybe you continue to call them out on their lies, their cheating, their deception. A narcissist hates that they can't be held accountable. So they discard you. They're throwing you away. They've ended their relationship with you on whatever aspect. If they're a family member, they've blocked you. They don't want to talk to you. They see you at family gatherings. They don't speak to you. If they're a friend, they've ended your friendship. If it's a relationship, they've discarded you. They've dumped you. They've divorced you. Or maybe they haven't divorced you. They just left you if you're in a marriage and they've went on to the person they were cheating on you with. Because trust me, if there's a new person, they were already in that relationship. They were cheating. So maybe they've gone on to this new person. And you're feeling lost, you're feeling low, you're feeling disheveled in the mind, your thoughts are cloudy, your energy level is low, you're exhausted all the time, you're experiencing fatigue, you're having bowel issues, stomach problems, migraines, headaches, because being in a relationship with these people can drain you to the sense to where you're physically ill. Your body will start to have all kind of problems and side effects, and things will go on, and you'll find yourself at the doctors, and the doctors will run tests and they'll tell you, well, we don't know what's wrong. What's wrong is that you've allowed a demon into your energetic space, and you've allowed them to try to tap into your soul and absorb you for the very spiritual being in which you are. And they've tried to steal your soul, because these narcissists are workers of iniquity. They've allowed the demonic spirit in which walks among us each and every day, and which runs this world that we live on. They've allowed that demonic spirit to overcome them and to do the work of the devil. And those of us who they prey upon, we are spiritual beings of God. And they look to diminish us in every way possible. They look to steal your soul away from you. In relationships and friendships and family, at work. These are those people that you must be cautious of and steer away from. These are those people who will steal your soul with sex. They will play with your mind and make you lose your mind. They will make you question your reality. After they leave you, they'll have you constantly going back and forth thinking about the relationship, what you could have did, what they should have did, if you were wrong, how they were wrong, how you could have made things better, what you should have said in this conversation, because they constantly play so many mind games. They twist words up and twist up conversations in their word salad. They gaslight you when you try to hold them accountable. They twist the conversation. Sometimes situations, they'll turn them and flip them back on you. So if they're cheating and you accuse them of cheating, they'll say things like, well, I don't know what you're doing. You could be cheating as well. Or they'll bring up instances where you confided in them, times that maybe where in the past, because we're not perfect, you have cheated with the ex that you were with before them, and they'll bring that up and they'll throw that in your face. Or they'll call you insecure. Or they'll totally change the conversation altogether, and then they'll have you thinking at the end of the conversation, well, maybe I am wrong. Maybe it's me. Over the course of my YouTube videos, I'm going to continue to educate you guys on narcissists. Different words and terms that you can look to, and their meanings when you're in a relationship dealing with them. But this video is the precursor. It's the forefront. It's the warning. It's the message. Take heed to these demons that walk across us and among us every day in our everyday lives. They're here to kill, steal, and destroy. Workers of the serpent, workers of iniquity. They're here to take away one of God's people that walk this earth to do his will and his bidding, to stand on his commandments, to spread light, love, and positivity. They're here to diminish your soul. They're here to take you up bit by bit, piece by piece. They're here to mirror the perfect spiritual being that you are and to become that. They want to be you. And if being you means diminishing you all the way down to nothing, some of these people will kill. Then that's what they will do. Be cautious of yourself when dealing with these people. Be cautious of yourself when you come in contact with any person. Take your time when you meet people to really get to know them, to analyze them. Be cautious who you lay down and who you have sex with, who you let absorb your energy and come into your spirit. When you lay down and have sex with people, you're intertwining spirit. Your spiritual beings are becoming one. So be careful who you allow into your atmosphere to be able to absorb you, to be able to take a hold over you. Love yourself. Get to know yourself. Seek God so God can bring you a mate. See God so God can give you the spirit of discernment to know when someone in your family, one of your friends, or someone you may work with, or anybody in your immediate circle who could be a narcissist, who could be looking to prey on you, who could be preying on you. Do your research. Get on YouTube. Research narcissism and narcissists. Listen to my videos. So I just wanted to give you guys the precursors of what you might have experienced or could be looking at if you're with one. So remember, the beginning stages, I just went over 3 because there's plenty of stages. There's plenty of characteristics. So I started off with 3. The love bomb, the devalue and degrade, and the discard. On my next video, I'll talk about after they discarded you, when they want you back because the supply that they thought they would have didn't work out, or they ran out of supply and they need more supply, and how if you were a good source of supply, how they'll come back to hover you, which is to pull you back into them. But to recap before I end this, you guys, if you've ever been in or you're in a relationship with a narcissist, first 3 things they'll do to get you. They'll love bomb you. This is overshadowing you with love. This is pouring the love on. This is pouring on the admiration. I mean, early on to meeting you or early on into the relationship, this is not your normal gratification and admiration and love and like and lust when you're meeting somebody or you're just dating. This is the overboard. And you'll feel it in yourself that it's not right. It's the overboard. Then it's the degrade and the devalue. This is when the cheating comes in, when the lying comes in, when the physical abuse comes in, when the mental emotional abuse comes in, when the running off comes in. They disappear, then they come back. The ghosting, this is that stage. Then the discard. This is when your supply is no longer enough. When what they have sought out of you, they've already got. So you're no longer of need for them, and they've gone on to their next supply. This is the discard. On my next video, maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow, I'll talk about the hover. So I'll end this with saying, protect yourself, protect your energy. Love yourself, hold on to yourself. Be cautious and be aware. Know that you're a spiritual being, and know that you walk every day amongst demons looking to diminish you in your power and who you are. Continue to spread light, spread love, spread peace. I love you guys and love yourselves. I say.